Hey, what's up, everybody? The big question is, will XRP hit $8, $9, $10, or is it going to go to $15 or $20, or is it going to go to $20 to $27? That's what we're going to talk about, right? That's a big difference in price, right? So, in my opinion, we pretty much have, I think, not financial advice, but in my opinion, we have between $7, $8, $9 in the bag. I think that's a done deal. I think we can totally do that, no problem. $7, $8, $9. Actually, the target would be about $9.15. Because look at this. When we hit pretty much, we missed the 4.236. You could see we never hit it. But if you look at Bitcoin market cap, it was actually much more accurate. We perfectly nailed the 4.236 extension. Same thing with Ethereum. If you look, Ethereum missed the 4.236 extension. But if you look at the market cap, it perfectly nailed the 4 point. This is because both Bitcoin and Ethereum and even XRP have inflation. So back over here, there was less coins circulating than over here. So it's my opinion, when you look at the cycles and you're trying to gauge a really good target for the whole cycle, you want to look at the market cap fib extensions. But not just Bitcoin and Ethereum, and not even XRP, but there's other coins out there that have similar examples where they didn't meet their 4.236, but their market cap charts did. So the market cap 4.236 for XRP is at 528 billion, which gives you a $9.15 XRP. So that's that's pretty good. So we're about 270% away from the market cap 4.236, and if you go 270% from where we are now, that puts you at about $9 to $9.30. All right, so there you go. Just had a little clip there, and basically the market cap is much more accurate than the price itself when you span it over a couple of years, right? But for XRP, it's been more than a couple of years. It's actually been closer to 7 years, right? So XRP has one of the biggest structures on the planet when it comes to crypto. I mean, we've been oscillating in this range for over 7 years. And you could say that's a bad thing, but to me, that's a really, really good thing. That tells that the price is brewing like a strong cup of coffee. I mean, it is getting coiled up very strongly here. And when we look, we can see Bitcoin and XRP literally side by side here. And both of them, we have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, right? So if you focus on this area right here, and then we focus on this area right here, this was actually our reaccumulation area. You guys already know that, right? But I'm just showing you here. For those that don't know, we can see very clearly that the structure hasn't completely played out yet, right? You can see Bitcoin rise, crash, retrace, come down into reaccumulation. We go sideways, we break out, and we hit a 4.236 extension by market cap, all right? Not the price. The price missed it, but the market cap hit it. So if you look at XRP, it's exactly the same, right? We have the same structure, rise, crash, retrace. We come down into reaccumulation. We go sideways a little bit, actually a lot. I mean, this is a 2.5 year sideways reaccumulation structure, where this was about a year, maybe a little over a year. So it's twice as big. This is the 2-week chart, and for Bitcoin, it's only the 4-day chart. So that's the difference. I mean, you can see all those years up here. Look at all of those years compared to down here. So the chart above is way bigger, guys, way bigger. Huge structure, which means the bigger the structure, the more structure it has, right? The more long-term sustainability it's going to have, and potentially the higher the price can go, right? If you have Elon's rocket and he has a little launch pad, the size of a Volkswagen, versus a launch pad the size of a New York skyscraper, what do you think is going to be more appropriate, right? You know what I mean? So the bigger the base, the higher in space. So to me, if you look at Bitcoin, we completed that wave. But look at XRP, it still hasn't completely broken out yet. And let me throw on a couple lines here. So the first line I'm going to put right there. And then this line I'm going to put right about there. Okay? And you can see exactly where we're at. You know, we're right in this little area in here. The same kind of area Bitcoin was back in, I think that was right before 2021 started. So that was a very exciting time. That was right before Bitcoin set sail to breaking above its 2018 all-time high. So Bitcoin broke it right at the start, really, of 2021 or before that. XRP has the same high, right? This is 2018 all-time high, 2018 all-time high. Bitcoin broke it like 4 years ago, okay? XRP still hasn't broken it, right? So, people are like, well, it's never going to happen. Trust me, it most likely will happen, right? Again, it's not financial advice. I could be wrong, but when we look at both of these structures side by side, I mean, there's no denying exactly how they look, right? Let me actually take a screenshot of that. And let me see if I could draw a little bit here. So we have this little area right there, this little area right there, right? We got the top of the market back over here, right? And then we have the bottom of the market down in here. And then let's go green. And then we have, obviously, the top of this back over here, the retrace levels. And then you have your reaccumulation level. I don't need to put that. So, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty spot on. Okay, so we got all that. All right, so where did Bitcoin go? Well, if we look here and we take a retracement level, Bitcoin went all the way to... and we're actually using log scale targets, but I really need to use the linear scale targets, and then we'll go back. So if we look at the linear scale target, you could see Bitcoin missed the 4.236 extension. You can see that, right? But on the market cap, it did not, okay? So now we have the market cap back on here for Bitcoin, and you can see we pretty much perfectly nailed, let's see if I get it right on the dot here. We perfectly nailed that 4.236 extension right up in here. All right, so yeah, that gave us that almost $70,000 Bitcoin at the time. All right, so we'll go back here, and then we'll expand it, and then we'll do the same thing, right? So the market cap of XRP should be about 530 billion or so, right around that area. All right, so if I take a measurement here, and then I go up from where we are approximately, you're looking at about 280%. So that's really all we have left for XRP, is about 280% left, according to what Bitcoin did, according to what also Ethereum did, and there's several other examples as well. But then you have coins like what Dogecoin did, which completely obliterated their 4.236, and they actually went into their log scale targets, right? So is XRP going to obliterate its 4.236 and go to a log scale target? That's like the biggest question that I have. You know what I mean? So, because we know XRP is in a really good spot for us to break out. I mean, you can just look at both structures, and let's remove that, right? You can look at both structures and you can see they're pretty much the same, right? Rather, if you want to look at it from a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation perspective, if you want to look at it from a contracting triangle perspective, right? Because they both have A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, right? And they're both right at this level here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look a little bit closer. I'm going to look right. Let's actually zoom in a lot, because we're going to have to zoom in to see exactly what happened. And this is where I think XRP is right now. It might not be the same exact structure, but it's where we are on the scale of things. So so let me go and zoom in here now. And this is kind of where we're at, right? Obviously, they're going to be different structures, but in reality, they're kind of the same in some, let's see here. So this is the first time I'm actually doing this, but this basically we're comparing where XRP should be relative to where Bitcoin was when it broke out, right? And you could see very clearly here that Bitcoin came up, right? It had an A, it came up, it took the high with a B, and then it came down in a C. So that was actually called a running flat, okay? So we came up in a running flat, A, B, and a C, right? 3 down, looks like 3 up, and then 3 back down, or even a WXY. Okay, so if you look at XRP, it's actually the same thing. It's a flat. It's not a running flat, it's an expanded flat because we had that big liquidation event. But if that cascading thing never happened, it would probably be a running flat. You can see support is holding really strong up here, above over here. Same thing here. Here's your support holding strong above that area, right? So you have this A, B, C expanded flat, A, B, C running flat. So we're literally at the same spot, creating the same structure, creating the same type of pattern, you know what I mean? So what comes next? Well, you could see after that, we pretty much had like 1, 2, 3, 4. We pretty much had a 5-wave leg after that. So like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So now what we could do is, it's kind of interesting because you can measure it that way, but what I'm going to have to do is measure it this way and just take a regular retracement level from the top of this to the bottom, and let's see exactly where we went up to. Well, you could see we pretty much crushed the entire 4.236 extension here. Let me expand it so we could see it a little better. And then we kept going higher and higher and higher after that, right? So let's look at in log scale now. All right. Whoops. Did I do it right? Yeah, I did it right. Okay. So for log scale, it still obliterated it, right? And it's not really a good example. But essentially, we had a 1, 2, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we had a 5-wave move and we completely went above the 4.236. All right, so let's go back here and let's look at XRP. All right, and we'll do the same thing. And we'll go down. Actually, what I'm going to do is do it like I did the other one here. Right there. So the 4.236 here is actually higher than the actual price of the full 4.236. But let me put that on. All right, so that's about 348 billion. All right. So percentage-wise, where we are now, let's go all the way up. It's only about 145%. So if I go to XRP, the price, and I go up 145% from exactly where we are now, that's going to put us about almost $6. So that'll give us a $6 XRP. So I think that's the next step. I don't think it's going to be $4. I think it's going to be closer to $5 or $6. So, I mean, the $4 area is from here up to here. I mean, basically that whole range right there, look at the size of that thing, right? It's not that big. That whole range is $1, right? Compare that to the size of this range. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's probably going to blow right past that. We might come up here a little bit. We might flag out a little bit, you know, whatever. But eventually, I think we'll go much higher than that. So if we go back here and we look a little bit closer, you know, this target right here actually got us even beyond the log scale. All right, so now let's go and zoom out to the 2-week chart here. So another way we could do it is let's measure it this way, from the retracement high, right, to the reaccumulation low. And you can see we completely blew right past all of those fib levels. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to change this to log scale. And look at that. We perfectly nailed, guys, the 2.272. And guess what? That's hilarious, because Dogecoin, maybe I'll do that at the end. Dogecoin hit something similar. So that the 2.272, it actually hit way higher than that. I think Dogecoin hit like the 3.414. It was crazy. But I'll show you why that's relevant in a minute. So yeah, we hit the 2.272, measuring the retrace levels. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, right? Remember, it's the same structure here. Let's look at it like they're both on the weekly chart now. One's way bigger than the other, right? Again, same structures, and we were just looking at where we were before, right? That was this little area right in here, and it was the same type of flat. Okay, so let's expand this a little bit, and we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to take a fib level from the top of the retrace level down to the bottom. And what did Bitcoin hit again? It hit the 2.272. 2.272. Okay, so now where is XRP's 2.272? Right? There's different ways we can measure it. All right, so now let's look. Would you look at that? $21. I mean, come on, guys. $21. Are you serious? That's pretty phenomenal. That's pretty awesome. $21. And I basically measured it exactly the same as Bitcoin. It's exactly the same, right? Now, obviously, the market cap's going to be different. The percentages will be different. But the overall structure is the same, so it's definitely possible. Again, we're measuring this area, right? Same thing what Bitcoin did. And if you look where, and here, and you can say, well, that they could have retraced at different levels. Well, maybe that's true. Let's take a look. What we're going to do, isn't this fun? Hit the like button if this is fun, because I think it's fun. It's like, you know, it's like an Easter egg hunt. We're trying to find the truth, right? You know, this is like you got a pirate's map or something, and you're like a little kid, like on a national treasure hunt or something. You know, we're trying to figure this out, right? It doesn't mean it's real. It doesn't mean it's true. But at the end of the day, it is true. These are facts, right? Fibonacci levels are facts. Doesn't mean we can get to them, but it makes sense, because if you look at Bitcoin, look at Ethereum, look at many other coins, they all have examples. Dogecoin, it's a meme coin, right? It hit its level, right? And remember, Bitcoin, XRP is one cycle behind, guys. XRP is one cycle behind. That's another reason why XRP is my biggest holding, right? Remember, if you look here at Bitcoin, see, well, we broke out in here. Guess where XRP was? XRP was right here. and then we went down, and then we went down, and then Bitcoin's at a new all-time high. But XRP's barely back over here. So it's as if XRP is barely right here, right? So Bitcoin is literally has all of this ahead of it right there. That entire structure that I just drew, that is how much Bitcoin is ahead of XRP. It's crazy, right? It's a massive amount. So keep that in mind when you're coiling up a spring, when you're holding a beach ball underwater, and you have a structure, a divergence, right? That's what it is. It's a divergence in time and in price. You know what I mean? So it's absolutely insane. All right, so let's look at where we retraced, right? We retraced, let's take a fib level here, exactly to, how come it's not working here? Basically the 786, but I think this is on log scale. Let's see if, let's put it down to linear. Okay, so linear scale, look at that. We barely missed the 702. Okay, remember that. All right, because we're measuring the same structure. So we want the same structure that we're measuring, comparing, to be within the same ballpark of their retrace levels. So Bitcoin barely hit the 702. All right, so what did XRP do? Let's go to XRP and let's see. All right, so let's go back over here, and then we're going to go down here, and then we're going to put this to log scale or linear scale. And you could see on here, that was the Binance chart. The Binance chart is definitely different than the most, your bit stamps and things like that. So I'm going to use the market cap. Look at the market cap. It's literally the same, exactly the same. Look at, we barely missed the 702. Exactly what Bitcoin did. Like literally, look at this. Look how far away we were from the 702. How phenomenal is that? Look at that. We barely missed it. We barely missed it. It's literally exactly the same. It's mind-boggling, right? And here's the cool part. Back when Bitcoin was at 702 and we missed it, Bitcoin's market cap was $250 billion. So it was way significantly higher than XRP back when we were at $92 billion, right? And where is the market cap now? The market cap now is about $140 billion, right? Well, that would put basically $140 billion XRP is, we know today, is about $2.50, right around there, 240, 230, 250, right around there, okay? So Bitcoin at a $140 billion market cap. Let's take a look. Well, the market cap for Bitcoin is basically 1.86 trillion, okay? But we're trying to compare back in the day here, right? So 140 billion actually puts it right about there. That's hilarious, okay? All right, so what price is that when it comes to Bitcoin itself? All right, let's take a look at the price real fast. We'll use Coinbase. All right, so the line was right about there. So that's about a $7,000 Bitcoin, right? Let me make sure. 1 second here. Okay, yeah, so it's literally right on top of this structure. Okay, so we'll remember that. Now, we'll go to the Bitstamp chart this time. All right, so what price is this? Right there. Look at that. That's $7,500. So think about that for just a second. So Bitcoin right now is like, what, $100,000, right around there. And it's at a 1-point-something trillion dollar market cap. Insane. Okay, so XRP is the equivalent of Bitcoin as if Bitcoin was $7,500. Imagine that for a minute. Imagine Bitcoin drops to $7,500.
I mean, everybody would buy it, right? You would think a lot of people would buy it and say, hey, Bitcoin's at 80, 90, $100,000. It's so crazy. But then all of a sudden now Bitcoin's at $7,500. I mean, it's a deal of a lifetime. So think about that in terms of XRP, right? So the reason why this is important is for the market cap debate, right? People say, well, XRP can't hit $27 because of the market cap. It can't hit these ridiculous numbers because of the market cap. But look, the market cap for Bitcoin was way higher when it broke above its reaccumulation structure, right? Rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. Here's your structure. Then we went into the bull run. So XRP is right about here. But in terms of market cap, it's actually less than what Bitcoin was at that time. So where is the market cap of Bitcoin relative to where XRP is now when we're comparing both of the charts, right? You see how interesting this is? I don't see anybody else doing these types of things. Maybe they are, I just don't see it. So, all right, so let's look at, this is what we're going to do now. All right, so let's put them side by side, right? So here we go. Let's get rid of that. And let's expand the screen a little bit. All right. So actually, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, right about there. Okay, so remember, we were comparing the flat right here and right here, right? All right, but what we need to do is we need to go to the actual market cap itself. So let me go to the market cap. Is it right there? There it is. Okay, now let's go down to the 12-hour because we're going to need some detail here. So we're going to go back in time. Remember, we were comparing. Okay, so here's the structures right here if I kind of compare them. So here's your swing high or your retrace high. There's your retrace high, right? And then now we're right about here. So, all right, so where is that in terms of market cap? Well, that puts the market cap is about $334 billion. So between 300 and 370. So we'll say 340 billion. Okay. So at the time, Bitcoin was $340 billion in the same spot XRP is now. But XRP is only $138 billion market cap. So that to me is really, really interesting. That is a good thing. The reason why is because now we have more potential wiggle room. Meaning the argument is, well, if Bitcoin can hit a 4.236 extension by market cap, and at the time Bitcoin had a higher market cap than XRP, then surely XRP can easily hit that target because it's the same setup. Not only that, but it's got the XRP ETF. We got the regulations coming. There's a lot of things. Plus, it didn't go on a bull run last cycle. Plus, it got a lawsuit. Plus, it got delisted from the exchanges. Plus, it still held the top 10 title. And plus, it created the biggest base in crypto history. Plus, we broke out of reaccumulation. Plus, we're literally right at the cusp of an all-time high. Plus, it's one of the biggest bases in crypto history, right? I mean, there's so many things that say, you know what? It's very, very possible for XRP to go much higher than $8 or $9. I think $8 or $9 is, we should definitely do that. And if we don't do that, then something's wrong, right? We should, without a doubt, hit between $8 and $9, okay? But if we want to see like $20, then it takes it to another level, right? So let's go back here. Let's go to XRP now. And let's actually go to the XRP. We're going to use Binance, but Binance is a little bit off. But I think it's okay. So we're going to go... Actually, we're going to use the market cap, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a fib level here. All right. And then what we're going to do, as opposed to the price of a 1618 log scale, we're going to try that in the market cap, and I think it should be more accurate. All right, so a log scale 1618. So we're not dealing with the 4.236 because we're doing log scale now. So log scale, we're at a $928 billion market cap. See, there's many different ways you can calculate a target. That's why when you go online, you might see this target, you might see another target, you might see another, because these are calculations on how to get the most accurate target. So what I like to do is I like to get all of them together, and then I average out all the prices to get a more accurate target. But not even that. What I like to do is I like to measure the individual waves, called a trend-based fib extension. So I'll take it from the bottom of the wave, I'm going to come all the way to the top, and then I'm going to come all the way back down to the bottom. And that gives me a target. And look at that, we perfectly hit, or we went above the 4.236 here on that trend-based extension. So now what we can do is we can measure this wave and this wave to get to the next wave. And then once we get to that wave, we can measure this wave to this wave, and then on the pullback. So that's why, you know, people want targets before the bull run even starts. But, you know, if you have a baseball and you want to hit a stop sign, are you more likely to do it 5 feet away or 50 feet away? You know what I mean? You're more likely to hit it 5 feet away than 50 feet because you're closer to the target. Same thing with price. You want to be closer to get a more accurate target. Okay, so the 1618 log scale extension gives us right about $928 billion. Beautiful. So just shy under $1 trillion, and I think that is very doable. I'm going to show you a video why I think that's possible when we talk about the market cap multiplier, right? Just because $1 billion comes into the market cap doesn't mean that's actually $1 billion coming in. You know what I mean? So there's different ways they can calculate that. I'll show you that in a second. But look at this. So if we take our measurement here, and this is going to give us a measurement from where we are right now all the way up to, what is that? 570%. All right, 570%, right around there. So then we're going to go back to, I'm going to use Bitstamp for this to get a better target here. XRP, come on. And once we do this, all right, so here we are back at the price and a Bitstamp. All right, so now what I'm going to do, expand this a little bit, and then price is dumping today. We're going to get into the small time frames. Let's go up 570%. So that's going to put us right about $16.20. So that, in my opinion, is a really interesting target because, you know, we're measuring the log scale, right? But we're not doing it with the price we normally do, which gives us a $27 XRP, right? But then you have inflation and all that. So if we did the same thing, log scale, but use the market cap, which I've never done this before, right? That's going to give us a target of about $16, between $16 and $17. So let's see if we want it as accurate as we can. Let me try to get it, try to pinpoint it here. I mean, it's going to be within a couple percent. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, so 570%. I would just say $16. Let's just be conservative. We'll just say $16. I think that is a solid target to have, but we have to get through the linear scale targets first, right? So the final conclusion here is, you know, when we compare Bitcoin, right, and XRP together, and we don't even have to use Bitcoin, we could use Ethereum, right? It don't matter. We could use total 2, total 3, right? We're going to get the same numbers because they both hit the same target, which gives us even more confluence than we already need, right? So, yeah, so right now we're at a $330 billion market cap for Bitcoin, the equivalent to, right? But now let's go back to the XRP market cap for just a second here. And if you look at this, where did we go up? Well, Bitcoin went up from the let's do from the percentages. The percentages of where we are from back here all the way up, it went up approximately, well, would you look at that? 260%. That's exactly what we talked about before. Remember we talked about 270%, right? And now that's 260%. So basically, dang, that's interesting there. All right, so let's go up 270% or 260%. Yeah, that's going to be that $8-9 area. I'm not even going to do it because I already know. I mean, that's going to be the the $9 move, right? So if we look at the market cap, though, at the top here for Bitcoin, that was about a $1 trillion market cap, right? So, but for XRP, it's going to be more so around that $550 billion market cap. So twice, basically, Bitcoin is a cycle and a half further along than XRP, but XRP is only half the size of Bitcoin was back, 4 or 5 years ago. So I thought that was interesting too. All right. So anyways, let me show you. Let's go to the small time frames and let's see what's going on here in terms of the short term analysis. So look at that 3-wave pullback. Look at that. Right? Exactly what we thought. It's literally playing out exactly how we imagined it here. Basically, coming back down here, drizzle, right? I wish I can go back and watch replay a video that we were talking in here. I mean, it's essentially following that fractal, right? So remember the Litecoin fractal. Remember we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, right? Now you compare that to XRP, we went 1, 2, 3. We actually popped a little bit more and then came back down, right? So we're down here, and the same thing that happened back over here. Remember this fractal? So fast forward now, we could see 1, 2, 3. Maybe we come up and get 4, and then we get one more wave down for wave 5, and that would be 5 down, right? So that could be the end of our C leg. So we have 1, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an A. And then we come up in a B wave. That's 3 for B. And then we come down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for C. So we have 5 down, 3 up, and then another 5 down. So that's an ABC. That's a 1-2, guys. That's a 1-2 setup, right? So you can see the 3-wave move. It's shaping up to be a 3-wave move, and then we would go up from there. That's exactly how we were explaining it. So yeah, I think it looks great. Now, could it be possible that this is only 3 and it's finished? Yeah, it is. I wouldn't, we could break the low a little bit, but I think these are really good prices for buying the dip. This is all dollar cost averaging. I know I said that yesterday too, and we came down a little bit, but at the same time, I think it's even better now. We're getting exactly where we need to be. Now, going back to market cap real quick, listen to this video and reference to the XRP multiplier from. So this guy right here made a pretty good argument. Zach, definitely give him a follow. Listen to this.
Today we're exposing the XRP market cap myth. Now, of course, anybody can.
Now, before I go into the video, just remember that, We were just doing these calculations as far as trying to get an accurate target for XRP, right? Is it going to be $8 or $9 on the low end? You know, that's what it should be. That's what it should be. Or is it going to be a little bit different because the market cap is a lot less than Bitcoin and Ethereum at the time that it was in that same type of structure? And remember, XRP is a cycle behind. There's a lot of different, that's the thing. There's different variables at play that's more bullish for XRP, right? Like the ETF and you know, we're in a different environment now. We have Trump. We have, you know, Brad Garlinghouse hanging out with Trump. You know, we have different things going on. We have, you know, like I said, the ETF. And then, but also, as far as the chart goes, we have a major divergence between the rest of the market in 2021 and XRP, right? Because XRP only went up to $2 in 2021. So it never went on a bull run. So it's a bull run behind Bitcoin, right? And during that time, it created a massive structure. And that structure is nothing but support to basically continue the price in an upwards trajectory, right? So could that have a better, more positive impact on price as opposed to our pretty much confirmed $8, $9? Or do you think it's going to be more along the lines of between $15 and $16, right? Or the Grand Slam, which comes in between $20 and $26. Although I don't think that. I don't think we're going to get that high, but that's why I measured it in market cap, right? And the market cap 1618, we still got to do it with Doge, right? Because Doge also had that same type of sort of structure, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But listen to this.
Calculate the market cap on XRP or any other digital asset. You take the last traded price by the circulating supply, it gives you a market cap. And for XRP, we're at about a $3.30 XRP all-time high. We got about 57 billion circulating coins. It's over $180 billion market cap, approaching 200 billion. But it's not a one-to-one ratio as far as market cap grows by $1 billion if $1 billion comes in. What we're seeing on XRP is a dramatic market cap multiplier. And that's what I'm going to be breaking down here in today's whiteboard session. Let's make it quick, simple, and yes, we are going to explain how we reach a $33 XRP based off of conservative assumptions from JP Morgan. Stay tuned. Getting started here yesterday, this is what we observed. By the way, you've got two examples here, one of XRP price going up, one of XRP price going down. Take a look. Yesterday, XRP starts pumping. The market cap grows by $17 billion off of only $80 million of inflows into XRP. There's buying, there's selling. The net inflow during this was a 4-hour window, was 80.
So exactly what he was saying there, you know, just because XRP had an inflow of 81 million doesn't mean, or 80 something million doesn't mean that the market cap went up 80 million. It actually went up 17 billion, right? So it just proves that you don't need $1 trillion worth of inflows to get $1 trillion worth of market cap, right? So as long as XRP gets, you know, maybe 50 or $100 billion, you could look at maybe almost $1 trillion, right? So I don't know the ratio of it, but I think he's going to tell us now. So
inflow during this was a 4-hour window, was 80 million of inflows, led to 17 billion market cap growth. And what you see here is that's a market cap multiplier of 212.
Okay, so 212, right? That's good to know. So that's kind of gives you an idea, right? So you have 212. So basically for every dollar that goes into XRP, like physical dollars, that means the market cap grows by $212, or supposedly, right? So again, that just tells you don't need a ridiculous amount of money, because people say, well, how can XRP go to $20? You're going to need, you know, an insane market cap. I just don't see how all that money goes in there. Well, that's true, but it doesn't require all of that money per se. A lot of it is trading through it, like the volume of XRP, right? Or the on-demand liquidity, or now we have the stable coin, right? So the stable coins are going to, you know, help the price push higher. So
very dramatic. Now, check this out. It works going down as well, too. Just as quickly as it goes up, it can come down. Now, this is then when the SEC filed their appeal brief yesterday. And yes, this does add to the damages done. The red folder just grew by about 15 billion because when the SEC filed their appeal briefs, the market cap loss on XRP, the price went down from about 320 all the way down below $3. We lost 15 billion of our market cap, but only 55 million of outflows. This gives us once again another market cap multiplier above 200 here at 279. Now, in other examples of this in the past couple weeks, I've tracked the market cap multiplier for XRP being above 589. And in one instance, we even saw it up into the thousands. So XRP, the point being, is a very easy asset to move, both up and down. But this is where it gets exciting, because JP Morgan this week gave us the prediction that XRP ETFs will see 4 to 8 billion of inflows as soon as they go live within the first year. I think that that's a very conservative assumption. I think that JP Morgan's onto something there. And so what I did is I just took that 8 billion of inflows into our ETFs, and you times that by 212, which is what we were doing here yesterday. That's going to give you market cap growth of 1.7 trillion. Now, XRP's market cap's already at about 200 billion, so I'm just adding 200 billion.
See, I don't know if JP Morgan said $8 billion of inflows or just maybe $8 billion of total XRP traded. You know, the volume of it traded. I'm not sure about that. Do I think it can go to $33? Absolutely. I don't know. But it's all about this cycle. It's all about this coming wave, right? It's all about what it can do coming up, not what it can do later, right? Because I believe later, it can go up to 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, $200 XRP, right? I don't really see it going any higher than that. Can it go to 1,000 or 10,000? I mean, that's pushing it. I don't know. I mean, it would have to take an enormous deal by the Fed or the Treasury or Trump or something that puts us in that situation. But here's the thing. I think it's totally possible when you start tokenizing real assets, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do. The CEO of BlackRock already stated that, Larry Fink, right? So you take all the bonds, which is $100 trillion or so, and you tokenize it on the blockchain, and then you can trade those bonds. Basically, you're trading the derivative of the bond, the token representation of that bond. So it's not super clunky and ridiculous. And the same thing that goes with the stock market. You take all the stocks, and basically the New York Stock Exchange is going to be at some point tokenized, right? So instead of going in there like a bunch of crazy vultures, right? Remember Iron Man, what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. He went into the New York Stock Exchange just to see it, and he goes, "Man, this is a satanic place. They're like vultures screaming at each other, trying to get the bids and the stuff like that." Maybe I'll show you the video in a minute, but basically that, you take that whole thing, right, and you tokenize it on the blockchain, and now you can have like a distributed ledger like XRP ledger sort of get a piece of the action there, right? And especially when you're talking about for liquidity purposes, right? Because these big hedge funds that are trading a stock no longer on the stock market, but the tokenization, the token of that stock market, or let's say it's a Walmart stock. So instead of trading Walmart stock, you're trading a derivative, a token that represents a Walmart stock. So, and then you can have a fixed supply, or you can have all the numbers pretty much perfect, right? So that's going to really have a massive impact on an XRP price as we go throughout this journey that we're all on. I mean, it's going to take time, but there's no question in my mind that, XRP can hit $100 or even more than that. But we're going to need to see evidence of tokenizations start to happen. But the first order of business is the ETF. And if JP Morgan's saying $8 billion and you have a multiplier, yeah, I mean, we could see a $30 XRP. I mean, here's the thing. There's no example that we can look at XRP and say, you know what, that's exactly where it's going to go. Except for Bitcoin and Ethereum and a few others, right? We looked at the rise, crash, reaccumulation structures. We looked at the Fibonacci targets. We looked at exactly where they are, and they all point to an $8 or $9 XRP. But there's different variables in play, right? Like the amount of time. So for Bitcoin and Ethereum, it only took 3.5, 4 years. But for XRP, it's taking over 7 years. So it's a much bigger structure. So you might have an extended rally, right? Because think about time equates into price, and price equates into time, right? So Bitcoin ran up from $1,100 all the way up to $20,000, and it took 4 years to correct, versus XRP a couple pennies and it went up to $3.30, right? It took 7 years to correct. So it had much more time to rest and to recuperate. So it's like an NBA player resting for 1 day versus an NBA player resting for 3 days. Who's going to feel better on the court, when they go to play? You know what I mean? They're going to have more energy. So XRP could have more price energy to get to these higher numbers because it had so much time to chill. And then also all of the oppression. Think about how much the price has been suppressed and oppressed by the SEC. They have their thumb, they have their foot over our throat for the last several years because those same dudes were in bed with the Bitcoin maxis and the Ethereum guys, right? That's why Ethereum ain't doing too well today, right? And it's been a while since it's done well because reality is setting in, and the dial always returns back to scale, right? The dial always returns back to the scale, and that's exactly what we're seeing here, right? So the pendulum always is swinging back, right? Because think about all the last 6-7 years of what XRP's had to go through in order to get to this point, right? And it's been basically unstoppable. And all of this happened just recently, just within the last couple months. So just imagine what the next 6 months and a year is going to be if the momentum continues to shift in our direction, which it clearly is, right? So there's a big argument to be made for a big price coming up. And here's the thing. What about the other altcoins? Well, if that's going to happen with XRP, you have to imagine the other altcoins are going to get love too. So we'll see. Let's keep listening.
Into that 1.7 trillion, it brings it to about a $1.9 trillion market cap for XRP. Assuming a 58 billion circulating supply, you are at about a $33 XRP. So no, we do not need 1.7 trillion. We don't need trillions coming into XRP for us to reach a market cap of a couple trillion.
Right.
And yes, at this price point, at that market cap, we're starting to approach Bitcoin. So look out, get locked in. This is the XRP market cap myth exposed. Share this out far and wide. And if you appreciate our content, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell.
So there you go. Okay, so we basically understand now, right? I mean, I took you through a big journey of all of this different things, right? And it basically took a whole hour to do it. But, that's what real work is. It's not just a 5-minute, hey, this is what it is, and, it's over. No, this takes time to go through so that people can understand, right? So, but yeah, that's what I think for XRP, and I think that's where we're ultimately going. I think either this is going to maybe have a little bit more playing around down here before we go up, but ultimately we should be bottoming somewhere around this area. So that's pretty much it for XRP. I'm going to go real quick and look at the rest of the coins just for a little bit to see exactly what's going on. You can see we're pretty much getting killed today. I mean, THETA's down 7% today. Pretty nasty, right? But that's understandable, right? You could start to see the 3-wave move here, right? I mean, you can see it right there. Boom, 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 right? Boom, boom, boom. So we're starting to, we have this big crash. We have a pump and we're drizzle down, drizzle down, drizzle down. And that's exactly how it kind of plays out in this way. And a good example of that is when I go to BCHUSD, you can see right here, I think it's right here. There we go. Look at this. It's the same kind of structure in here. You see that? Where we have a big move down, we come up and we drizzle down, drizzle down, drizzle down, and then we finally make a bottom, right? We hold, we go down, we go sideways, and then we start going up, right? We have one more test, and then we go up higher. So keeping that in mind, now we'll go back to theta, and you can see it's pretty much the same thing that's kind of happening now. You know, it might be a little bit different, but essentially we're drizzling down. Maybe we have to break the low a little bit, and we have to get that divergence, and then go sideways, and then start going up. But I think it's getting close. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, obviously we could see like 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're waiting for 5, right? So I don't think the fifth will be that big. It might. And then another thing too, if we do come down in the fifth and we do get that bullish divergence, it's going to be a really good setup, right? Because now we have a completed 3-wave move. We went sideways in here, and now we're starting to go up. And it's going to take time, but that's kind of how I'm seeing it, not just for theta, but for many other things. All right. Let's take a look at Monero. Look at Monero. Everything's getting crushed today, but Monero is just hanging out, chilling. It's still $230. Look at that. It's not even down 1%. I mean, it's barely 1.25, right? Bitcoin's down 2%, and it's a bigger market cap. Theta's down 7%. Axelar 9%. And that's to be expected, right? Because I figured, we're kind of going up here. You're going to have to come back down at some point and revisit these lows, and then maybe do it one more time and then go up to create that base, that structure that we need. And that's called the bottoming process. Just because, we talk about a bottoming process doesn't mean that it's the actual bottom is in, but it's the process of it getting complete. So Jupiter. All right, now let's look at H bar, and we'll look at ADA. So H bar and ADA actually look pretty good. Again, it's just like that Bitcoin Cash fractal. Remember, we came up and we're drizzle. So we might actually go even lower and maybe even take the low and then go back up, right? Or come down and then back up. So I think we're getting close here. We got the bullish divergence on the 12-hour chart, but I don't like it because of that wick. Obviously, you can't really use it, but the candle closes are pretty good. So yeah, I think we're just retesting. Like I always say, you take the wick and you cut it in half. That's usually about where you go to. Now, sometimes you could take it out and go below it and then kind of continue higher, but it's going to be all about working itself out in here. And I think we're getting closer. Let's zoom in here and see. I mean, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe we get 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something to that effect. All right, let's look at ADA here. ADA is definitely a little different. I figured all these boom, 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 boom. I figured we were going to get stalled out and we're going to have to come back down here and maybe even test this a lot lower. So it could be like an A, come up in a B, and then we come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like an A, B, C. Some type of 3-wave structure down here. Then you kind of go sideways. Then you start going up. So the monthly candle is about to end soon, right? So Filecoin, you got 3 down, or actually you got 3 down here, right? It looks like 3. That's 3. This looks like 1, 2, 3. So you got some 3s in there. You got this 3-wave move. This is good for day trading, right? If you get a 3-wave move like this, I would actually go long. Not financial advice, but for me, I'd kind of go long here a little bit for Filecoin, and we go up in 3, and then I'll just cash out, maybe make a couple bucks, just a little bit of a scalping situation here. But anyways, that'll do it for this video. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you can hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. That is XRP, market cap, and price. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.